What if the life you think you're living is not truly yours? What if you're already dead, but simply don't know it? This isn't a question about your physical being, but about the very essence of your experience. A life lived unconsciously, dictated by external forces and limiting beliefs, isn't really living at all. It's a form of metaphorical death, a state where you're going through the motions, but not truly awake, a life where you are merely a program running someone else's code, unaware that your potential is far greater. This is not a pleasant concept to consider, but it is a critical one because if you are not aware of the program, you cannot change it. It's time to question everything you think you know, to challenge the reality that has been presented to you, and to consider the possibility that there is far more to life than what you've been led to believe, because the stakes are nothing less than your freedom. The core premise here is that much of what you consider your life is actually a carefully constructed illusion, a system of programming designed to keep you in a state of passivity and unawareness. This death we speak of isn't a physical end, but rather an absence of genuine awareness and agency. It's a life defined by limitations, imposed by societal conditioning and the unexamined acceptance of limiting beliefs, and it feels dead, predictable, and like something is missing. Take the concept of consumerism, for instance. From the moment we are born, we are bombarded with messages that tell us what we need, what we should desire, and what constitutes a good life. Media, advertising, social pressures, and the constant pursuit of the next new thing all contribute to a never-ending cycle of consumption. You are told what to buy and how to feel, and you spend your time chasing these desires, often feeling empty and unfulfilled after obtaining them. This cycle keeps you running on a hamster wheel of work, consume, repeat, in a state of perpetual want, rather than living in a state of active creation. That is the programming at play, and it works perfectly. Now, within this seemingly endless ocean of unconscious existence, there are those who begin to question, to see beyond the surface, and to seek a deeper understanding of reality. We call these people the chosen ones, not because they are inherently special or possess some unique gift, but because they have made a conscious choice to awaken from this state of death and to actively take back control of their lives. They are the ones who begin to question the narratives that are presented to them, who seek the truth, and who choose to be more than just passive recipients of life. These are not mythical figures. They are the people who you might pass on the street or see in the mirror if you choose to start looking for them, if you choose to start looking for something more. They are not people who have some special power, but people who have chosen to take back their power. The choice is the defining element. The significance of this death is profound. It is a state of unfulfilled potential, a life lived in the shadow of what could have been. This state of unconscious living affects every aspect of your existence, from your personal relationships to your career choices, and even to your understanding of the world around you. You go through the motions, working a job you don't enjoy, in a relationship you don't want, buying things you don't need, and never feeling truly alive or fulfilled. You accept what is given to you as your reality, instead of creating the reality that you want. The impact is not isolated, it's pervasive, influencing the very fabric of our societal norms, keeping us in a perpetual state of collective unconsciousness. You see examples of this in endless daily routines, the constant chase for external validation, the fear of standing out, the pressure to conform. It's in the strained relationships, the empty apartments, the mundane jobs that make you feel like a cog in a machine rather than an individual, all of it working together in symphony to keep you in the same pattern of repetition, day after day. Understanding this programming, this metaphorical death, is not just an intellectual exercise. It's the first crucial step towards reclaiming your personal power. Recognizing the constructs that have been placed upon you allows you to begin dismantling them. It is the realization that you are not merely a puppet on strings, but a conscious being capable of shaping your own reality. You realize that there is a crack in the wall, a possibility that things can be different, that there is something more that exists, that this reality is not the end-all be-all, and that is where the journey starts. The journey of the chosen ones begins the moment they see that crack in the wall. This isn't about some external savior. The power to awaken lies within each individual, a combination of ancient wisdom and modern understanding, which will be unveiled. To begin, we must understand that the reality we perceive is not necessarily the ultimate truth. It's a carefully constructed experience, filtered through our senses, shaped by our beliefs, and influenced by the programming that has been imposed upon us. This is not to say that reality is not real, but that your perception of reality is not what it appears to be. It is simply a layer of perception, a way of experiencing the moment, and like a computer program, it can be changed. The programming is not only in the things you buy, but the ways you think, and an excellent example of this is our education system. The education system, for instance, often prioritizes conformity over independent thought, encouraging rote memorization and adherence to prescribed narratives, thus keeping you in the dead state of passive compliance. From an early age, you are taught to follow instructions, to sit quietly, and to accept the information that is presented to you without question. The very structure of the education system discourages genuine curiosity and critical thinking, making you into more of a robot than a conscious individual. And in this way, you begin to see how the loops are formed. You start to make connections between the things you buy and the education system that pushed you into the career that you hate, so that you can buy those things. You begin to see the patterns being built between the system that conditions you to be a consumer and the system that conditions you to be compliant. The cycle starts to show itself as a loop of external influence, leading you to a state of passivity and making you a predictable and controllable part of a larger system. These systems, whether it's the media, advertising, the education system, or other societal norms, are not isolated incidents. They are all different facets of the same core construct, all designed to keep you from realizing your true potential, all leading you down the same path of deadness. Each system feeds the next, all of them designed to keep you in a state of unawakeness, as if you are living life asleep. If your reality is a construct, then who is the constructor? Why does it feel so? Dead. Are there hidden forces at play, deliberately maintaining this state of unconsciousness, keeping you in the loop? These are the questions we will begin to explore. We begin to notice similar patterns across different aspects of our lives. From the way we consume to the way we learn, these patterns hint at a larger system of control that is subtly shaping our reality. Something hidden in plain sight, a shadow being cast, a puppet with its strings, all of it designed to keep you from seeing the full picture, keeping you in a state of unawareness. This video isn't just going to reveal how this programming works. It's also going to explore how you can actively break free and begin creating a more vibrant, alive, and conscious reality for yourself. And the journey starts with asking, what can be done about it? If consumerism and education are two pillars of the programming structure, then government, with its laws and policies, forms a third, equally insidious layer. Like a well-oiled machine, these three systems all work in tandem to maintain a society of conformity and dependence. The political systems, the very structures of power, are designed to shape your beliefs, your behaviors, and most importantly, your perception of what's possible. Through carefully crafted narratives, laws, and the ever-present threat of authority, these systems keep you in a state of obedience, reinforcing the idea that power resides outside of you, and that your role is to simply comply. You're encouraged to trust in those in power, to blindly accept their narratives, and to give away your autonomy. Look at the way political campaigns are structured, the way news is delivered, and the way historical events are presented. Are you given all the information, or simply the information that suits the narrative? These systems operate on obedience, on the unquestioning acceptance of authority, on the implicit agreement to play by rules that were written by someone else. It keeps you from asking deeper questions, from challenging the status quo, and thus keeps you in a state of deadness by limiting your choices and keeping you in fear. The parallels between consumerism, education, and government become strikingly clear when viewed through the lens of control. Each system, in its own way, demands compliance and cultivates a dependency that keeps you from truly realizing your personal power. Consumerism demands that you constantly seek external validation through material goods, thus keeping you enslaved by debt and desire. Education, as it is currently structured, compels you to accept predefined narratives and suppresses independent thought, therefore limiting your ability to think for yourself. And government, with its laws and regulations, coerces you to adhere to a predetermined set of rules, perpetuating a belief in external authority, thereby preventing you from creating your own. You see the pattern, this giving away of your power to external sources. You give away your power to define yourself to the marketplace. You give away your power of thought to the education system, and you give away your power of choice to the political arena. The underlying pattern of dependency keeps you trapped in a system of external control. You begin to see the symphony between all of these systems, working in harmony to maintain the collective illusion. You see how it works, you understand the different parts, and then you start to feel the need to ask the question, who benefits from your obedience? Who benefits from this state of deadness that you find yourself in? Now, I want you to take a moment and look at your life, at your habits, and your routines. How much of it is driven by your own genuine desires, and how much is simply a matter of obedience? Have you ever stopped to question the validity of the authority figures you have been taught to trust? Have you examined your assumptions, or are you just going along with what you have been told? Look at your daily habits, your career path, your political beliefs, even your personal relationships. Are these choices aligned with your authentic self, or are they simply an echo of the programming you've internalized? If you're feeling resistance to this idea, that is the program at work. Consider the implications of this question for a moment. Consider that perhaps you are not a helpless cog in a machine, but a powerful being capable of shaping your own destiny. And what does that mean for you? What does it mean if all of that external authority that you have given your power to is not as powerful as you believe it to be? This is the critical question you must start to explore, the deeper implications of obedience and the subtle ways in which you are giving away your power. These systems aren't just abstract concepts. They are the very fabric of your daily life. Think about the endless pursuit of success as defined by society, the constant pressure to climb the corporate ladder or to amass wealth. These are goals that are often dictated by the education system and reinforced by the government, but rarely do they align with your unique purpose. How many people are trapped in jobs that they hate, sacrificing their well-being and creative potential in the pursuit of these externally imposed goals? How much of your time and energy is spent chasing goals that don't resonate with you? This is what a life lived in a state of deadness looks like, where you are living by someone else's rules instead of your own. And it is not by accident. This system is carefully designed to keep you in this state. And if you have ever felt like something is missing, this is why. The system is designed to be self-perpetuating, to keep you chasing the carrot on the stick, to keep you compliant and dependent, and it works so well that most people never even question it. It's a perfect, self-contained program that runs on repeat, and if you choose, you can choose a new program. The moment you begin to see through the mechanisms of control, the moment you realize that you are not bound by these predetermined narratives, that is the moment you start to awaken. This awakening is not a passive experience. It is an active choice, a decision to reclaim your power and to start living with intentionality. And this is where the chosen ones come back into the picture. These are the people who choose to see beyond the limitations of programming, to question the narratives they have been given, and to actively participate in the creation of their own reality. They are not special because they have some magical ability, but because they have made a conscious choice to be more than the program. The process begins with self-awareness, with the willingness to question not just the world around you, but also your own thoughts and beliefs. It is the recognition that your perception of reality is not fixed, but a construct, influenced by your conditioning and personal history. And from there, it becomes about making a different choice, choosing to create something new. And it all starts with taking a step back to see if you are truly creating or simply repeating. So, how do you begin this process of awakening? The first step is to cultivate self-awareness, and this is the point where we must introduce practical tools that help you to see your reality in a new light and begin to actively change the program. Practices like meditation and mindful self-inquiry are essential for understanding your own mind and thought patterns. Meditation, in its essence, is simply the practice of observing your thoughts without judgment, noticing the patterns of your thinking, seeing the programs running without getting caught in the emotion of those programs. This is not about emptying your mind, it's about creating space between you and your thoughts so that you can choose which ones to focus on. It is like seeing the code that runs the computer and understanding that you are the user and you can change it at any moment. And in this, you begin to see how the programs work, how they trap you in loops of thinking and feeling, and that is the first step to changing it. The ability to observe your thoughts without judgment is crucial because, by doing so, you start to realize that you are not your thoughts. You begin to see them as simply patterns, as programs running in the background, and that you have the choice to change those patterns. You might notice a pattern of self-doubt or fear or worry that constantly runs through your mind. By observing these thoughts, you can begin to see the way they shape your actions and your overall experience. You begin to notice that these thoughts are not who you are, they are simply programs that have been running, and if you choose, you can choose a new program. And in this space between you and your thoughts, you begin to see the possibility of something new, the idea that you can choose differently. And in that space between you and your thoughts, you begin to understand the power of intention. Awakening is not just about becoming aware of the program, it's about becoming proactive in shaping your own reality. It's about shifting from a state of passivity to a state of active creation, from being a mere observer to becoming an active participant. This is where the concept of intentionality becomes important. It's not just about what you think, but about what you choose to direct your energy towards. You begin to see how intention shapes your actions, how your focus determines your experience, and that you can choose to focus on what you want, rather than what you don't want. You see that every thought you have, every action you take, every word you speak, is a brushstroke on the canvas of your life, and you are the artist who has the power to create whatever you want. This is the turning point. This understanding that you have the power to choose your experience, that you are the creator and you are in control. But what does it mean that your perception of reality is a construct? What does it mean that you are not living in the only possible version of reality? It means that what you perceive as fixed is actually fluid, malleable, and shaped by your beliefs and your conditioning. You know that your beliefs shape your experiences, and by changing the beliefs, you begin to change your reality. For example, if you believe that you are not good enough, you are likely to attract experiences that reinforce this belief. If you believe the world is a dangerous place, you will find evidence to support this perception. But if you choose to shift those beliefs, if you choose to embrace more empowering narratives, your experience of the world will begin to shift accordingly. Your relationship to yourself and the world begins to shift, and you begin to understand that your beliefs are not truths, they are simply choices, and you can choose new ones in any moment. This is the power of perception, the power to choose what you focus on and to choose what you experience. And this is where the real power lies, in the understanding that you have the ability to choose a different reality. If you are not bound by external programming, if you are not trapped by fixed beliefs, what does that mean is possible? You start to understand that the limitations you have accepted are self-imposed, that they are based on outdated stories, and that you are free to choose something new. And in this choice, you begin to shift from a state of deadness to a state of aliveness, from being a passive recipient of life to an active creator of it. It is in this understanding that you begin to see the power you have to change your life, to change your relationships, and to change the way you experience everything. And so, the choice is yours. Will you keep living the program, or will you choose a different one? The power was always yours, but until you realized it, you couldn't use it. And it is not external power that you must look to, but internal. You give away your power to the marketplace, you give away your power to the education system, and you give away your power to the political arena. But what if you realize that the power you are seeking is not out there, but within? And with this understanding, you start to see the nature of the programming loops and how they operate. It was never about giving power to these external authorities, but about discovering the power within yourself. The power was always there, just waiting to be activated, like a dormant seed ready to sprout. The program wanted you to believe that you were helpless and dependent, but you are not. You are a creator, a powerful being with the ability to shape your own experience. And so the shift happens, from looking outward for solutions to looking inward for the source of power. And in this shift, you begin to see that you have always been the creator of your own experience. But here is the most important part. The responsibility for awakening lies squarely with you. This is not a passive process, where you wait for an external force to save you. It is about making a conscious choice to reclaim your power, to take ownership of your life, and to begin to act with intentionality. This is not something that can be done for you. It's a personal journey of self-discovery that requires your active participation. It's not about becoming someone special, but about uncovering who you truly are beneath all of the layers of conditioning and programming, and it begins with a choice. The choice to step off of the hamster wheel, the choice to question the narrative, the choice to start living a different reality. And so, what practical steps can you take today to become more aware of your own programming loops? How can you begin to take ownership of your own experience? Start by noticing your default thought patterns. What are the thoughts that constantly run through your mind? Are they empowering or limiting? Begin to observe how you are giving your power away in your daily life and what choices you can make to reclaim your personal authority. Notice when you defer to external authority, when you accept limiting beliefs, and when you go on autopilot. This is about becoming aware of the habits that are keeping you in a state of deadness, so you can make new habits that lead you to a state of aliveness. And remember, you are not alone in this journey of self-discovery. There are countless others who are also seeking a deeper understanding of reality, and it is in these shared experiences that you begin to find the strength to keep moving forward. Now, consider this for a moment. If you have the power to create your own reality, what do you choose? What will you create when you are no longer living out a program written by someone else? What version of reality will you choose when you finally understand that you are not limited by what you have been told? What will you choose when you know that you have the power to choose anything at all? The core revelation, the understanding that has been building throughout this journey, is this. The death we've been discussing is not a literal end, but a state of unawareness, a slumber induced by the acceptance of external programming as reality. It's the condition of living a life dictated by someone else's rules, a script written by others, a program that keeps you from realizing your true potential. You are not actually dead, but you are living as if you are a puppet in a play you did not write, a character in a story you did not create. But just like a caterpillar in a cocoon, you are not destined to remain in this state. You are in transition, preparing to emerge as something new, something more powerful, something more aligned with your true nature. This is the essence of awakening, a shift in perception, a move from accepting what has been given to actively choosing what is next. It's not about escaping something, but about becoming something greater than you have allowed yourself to be, and it is a choice you get to make at any moment, starting now. You are not dead, but you can choose to be more alive. Consider the programming loops we've explored: consumerism, education, and government. What becomes clear when you look at them from this new vantage point is that they all rely on the same insidious principle: the surrendering of personal power, the abdication of personal choice. Each system subtly encourages you to give away your authority, to trust in external forces, to believe that someone else knows better than you do. Consumerism tells you that you're not enough without the latest products, trapping you in a cycle of wanting, needing, and dependence. The education system subtly tells you that you are not smart enough until you are certified and authorized by them, which makes you rely on their authority to validate you. Government tells you that you need to obey without question because your leaders know what's best for you. You are made to believe you are not capable of making choices for yourself. They each operate by convincing you that your choices are your own, but carefully limit the range of possibilities, offering the illusion of freedom while keeping you firmly within their control. They subtly manipulate you into thinking you are choosing, when you are simply moving within the boundaries they have set, within their program. You see the common thread, the hidden hand that keeps you in a state of deadness by making you give away your ability to choose. And what then of the chosen ones? Are they special, gifted with extraordinary abilities? No. The chosen ones are simply those who choose to awaken. They are not inherently different from anyone else, but they have made a conscious decision to see beyond the limitations of the program, to question the narratives they have been given, and to actively create their own reality. They are the people who choose to step off the hamster wheel, to challenge the status quo, to embrace their own power. They are the ones who understand that their perception of reality is not fixed but a construct, and that they have the ability to choose something new. And it is not about some grand gesture or a life-altering decision. It is as simple as choosing what to eat for lunch, what to think about, or how to respond in a given moment. It's the small, everyday choices that define your path. The chosen ones are simply people who choose something different, and that choice is available to you in every single moment if you choose it. It is not special powers, it is just choice, and that is a power that every person has. This shift in perspective, from being a passive recipient of reality to an active creator of it, is where the transformation truly begins. When you recognize that the world you experience is not a fixed entity, but a reflection of your own consciousness, you realize that you have the power to shape your own experience. You move from feeling like a victim of circumstance to an empowered creator of your own destiny. You see the patterns in your life, how your beliefs and your thoughts shape your reality, and you understand that you have the power to choose a different story. Just like those who have already made this shift, like the artists who create, the entrepreneurs who innovate, the healers who restore, and the dreamers who inspire, you too have that power within you. They are the examples, the maps, the road signs that show you what is possible when you choose to live beyond the program. They began from a place of limitation and dependence, but they consciously chose something new, and therefore they became what they chose. Their power comes from their choice, just like yours. This individual awakening is not a solitary pursuit. It's interconnected, like a ripple effect. As more individuals awaken to their true power, as more people choose to step out of the program, it creates a more conscious collective reality. The idea of the chosen ones also ties into this, and it's not about an exclusive club, but rather the collective awakening that arises when individuals choose to live in alignment with their authentic selves. Every choice that you make, every thought that you have, every action that you take, influences not just your personal experience, but also the collective consciousness. The more people that wake up, the more that the idea of waking up can be explored. You are not just changing your own life, but also the world around you. By choosing to be more aware, more intentional, and more aligned with your true purpose, you contribute to a world that is more aligned with freedom, joy, and potential. You are not alone in this, and it starts with recognizing the power you have. The importance of recognizing and breaking free from the programming loops cannot be overstated. These loops affect every aspect of your life, from your physical health and mental well-being to your relationships and overall sense of fulfillment. When you are trapped in the program of consumerism, you are constantly seeking validation outside of yourself, leading to feelings of emptiness and dissatisfaction. When you are trapped in the program of the education system, you limit your creativity and your ability to think outside of the box. And when you are trapped in the program of government, you give away your freedom and autonomy. These loops trap you in patterns of dependence and keep you from realizing your true potential. But the ability to choose is the key. The ability to choose a different path, to choose a different belief, to choose a different way of living in every single moment. There is no right way. There is only what is chosen in this moment. Your freedom lies in your ability to choose. Now, what are the implications of this knowledge for how you approach your future? How will you live from this moment forward, knowing what you now know? Will you continue to live on autopilot, blindly following the program, or will you consciously choose to step into your power? Will you continue to give away your personal authority, or will you embrace your role as the creator of your own experience? The choice is always yours, and the awareness of this choice is the true key to unlocking a more fulfilling and vibrant life. This knowledge empowers you to live with more awareness, intention, and responsibility. It calls you to step away from default routines and to become conscious of the choices that you make every single day. It asks you to look at your life with new eyes and to actively create a life that aligns with your deepest desires and your true self. The responsibility to live well is yours, and this understanding is your key to freedom. And so, the threads of programming, awakening, and choice come together, revealing a powerful truth. The power to choose is the ultimate key to breaking free from the limitations that have been imposed upon you. Understanding that reality is a creation, not a fixed entity, can be incredibly empowering. It opens the door to a world of infinite possibilities, where you are the artist, the author, and the director of your own life. It's the realization that you are not a helpless victim of circumstance, but a powerful creator with the ability to shape your own experience, and that the deadness you feel is simply a reflection of the choices that you have been making. To understand this is to understand your true power, to see that it was always within you, just waiting to be unlocked, just waiting for you to choose it. It was never about the external, it was always about the internal, the power of choice. And now, consider that the pattern of chosen ones is not about being special, but about making a conscious decision to embrace your role as the creator of your own reality, starting with the smallest actions. It's about choosing to be aware, to question, to explore, to create, and to live with intentionality. It's about understanding that you are not limited by the narratives you have been told, and that you are free to choose something new in every moment. It's about recognizing that your power comes from the choices that you make, not some external source. You are powerful because you choose to be. So embrace this role, embrace your power, and start taking small steps today towards creating a reality that aligns with your authentic self. Start with a simple thought, a single action, a new habit, because even a small decision can start you down a new path. Let's return to the initial question. What if you are already dead? The truth is that you are dead to your own potential unless you choose to awaken. You are dead to the possibilities, to the infinite experiences that are available to you if you choose to remain within the program. But here's the empowering part. You can also choose to be alive. You can choose to step into your power, and you can create anything you desire. The real question is not if you are dead, but what you will choose to be. Will you choose to continue living a life determined by others, or will you choose to create a life that is aligned with your deepest desires? Will you choose to remain in slumber, or will you choose to awaken to the incredible power that lies within you? The choice is yours, and this is the invitation to choose to be alive. And in this choice, there is both peace and empowerment. The journey of awakening is ongoing, a continuous process of self-discovery and transformation, a lifelong dance of choosing. It starts with a single decision, a simple intention, a shift in perspective. The program may try to pull you back, to keep you in your slumber, but you now have the key, the understanding that you have the power to choose. This journey of awakening is also about releasing the tension of being trapped and powerless, and taking responsibility for your life, for your choices, and for your experience of reality. It is not about fighting the program, but about choosing a new one. And in this choice, you find freedom, you find peace, and you discover the immense power that resides within you. Now, let's open up to new questions, questions that invite even further exploration. What reality do you choose to create, knowing that you are not limited by what you have been told? How will you live from this moment forward, armed with the knowledge that you are a creator? How will you embrace your role as the chosen one in your own life? And how will you share this knowledge with others, so they, too, can awaken to their true potential? These are the questions that will guide you on this path, questions that lead to even deeper understanding and more profound transformation. And in the exploration of these questions, you will find new paths and new possibilities, new horizons for yourself and the world around you. This understanding also opens up new areas of exploration, including the nature of consciousness, the power of intention, and the potential for collective awakening. We have only scratched the surface of what is possible. Imagine a world where more and more individuals awaken to their true potential, where creativity and collaboration replace competition and control. This is the potential, the possibility that awaits us if we choose to step into our power. And this is an invitation to continue on this journey of exploration and to seek out more wisdom about the true nature of reality. Perhaps you will explore the concepts of quantum physics or the ideas within ancient spiritual traditions. This is the start of a lifelong process. And so, I leave you with a final, resounding call to action. Reflect on the programming loops that you have internalized, recognize your own power, and take active steps to create the reality that you desire. Start small, with conscious decisions in your daily life, then explore the deeper nature of reality, and remember that you are not alone. Share this knowledge with others, and let your actions be a testament to the power of choosing to be more. Go forward with the understanding that the power to choose is always available, and that you have all that you need to create a more fulfilling and vibrant reality right now. You are not powerless, you are not a victim, you are a creator, and you are more powerful than you can even imagine. So what will you create? The time is now.